Hey everybody, Bryce Raggins here, Momentum Realty. Today I am joined with Sally, Dwell Staging and Design.
Got it.
And Sally, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you, what you guys do.
I'm Sally Stock. We have a company called Dwell Staging and Design here in Jacksonville, and we stage homes all throughout Jacksonville, all the way up to St. Simon Island, Fernandina Beach, down to Palm Coast, out to Fleming Island. So kind of the whole gamut of area. We come in and help you get your home ready for photos and for showings by bringing in everything from bedroom furniture to living room furniture, all the accessories, the artwork, the bedding, and just really make it look like a model home, basically, is what our that we're going for. So we use light, bright, coastal style furniture and try to match the furniture to the house. And then it's done in one day and you pay at the close. So it's just a great way to get your house looking ready for the market and making the pictures really shine.
You don't want to buy a house where no one's ever cleaned anything. And it's very visible for people that are buying a house. Oh, well, they're not clean people, or they're not organized. Therefore, maybe they aren't taking care of the air conditioning, or, maybe they're not fixing the roof. If it looks clean and organized and like you care about the house, that's going to be really impressive to a buyer.
Okay.
And I think that, you want to put your best foot forward. I mean, no matter what you're doing, we were always saying, like, if you see clothes on a hanger, they look one way. You see them on a model and they look completely different. And you want your house to model how the furniture is going to fit and how you can organize, whether it's your pantry or your kitchen drawers. You don't want someone to pull it out and have everything fall out on them, because that's what they're going to remember. It can have a moment of surprise in your house, like, oh, wow, that's, what a great pantry, because there's so much room. That's something they remember. And that's important, to have a nice big pantry. So use that storage and any closet really as an opportunity to show that you have storage and, do the best you can. I know it's a pain to go through all that, but you're going to have to do it anyway when you move. So you might as well do it in order to sell the house. That's kind of my feeling. So
Yeah, help get a better return.
Yeah.
So super organized. Get some things that you can make real organized and just clean and organized.
Clean and organize, and I would say take anything that's kind of unsightly, like mops and brooms and anything that doesn't really go with food, dog food or anything like that, trash, and try to find another spot for it. So when they open that pantry, they're seeing it as a pantry.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So pantry and the theme of closets. Let's move to the closet. What do we do?
So in your master closet, or really any closet, kind of obviously try to take out clothes you're not using. If it's summertime, try to just have your summer clothes in there. Try not to cram everything into one closet. If you need to give clothes away, if you need to just store them for a little while, put them in a plastic bag and put them under your bed if you have to. But you need to show room in those closets, because nobody wants to buy a house that has a tiny master bathroom closet, or master closet. So, do something with your shoes, even if it's just organizing them in pairs. You just don't want a jumble of shoes on the bottom of your floor. So you don't have to go out and spend money, but you do have to take some time to organize. And as you're doing it, you might find, oh, I've got this cute box sitting in my closet. I'm going to put all my, scarves in it or something, or I've got this cute basket. Just, try to think of how it would look when someone glances in there. And whatever you can do to clean out or get rid of, put all your purses together in one area. If you have to get a couple sliding drawers or something to just, get away things you don't want people to see. But you don't want to just be cramming things in before a showing and throwing them into the closet and then having the closet be a disaster. So that can happen.
And that happens.
It happens, because That's the best place to put things. But you know, just try to use it as an opportunity to organize. You'll feel better about your life and yourself anyway once you organize. So just use it as an excuse. But and just mainly just think about giving. What can I give away that I don't need? What's not bringing me happiness, as Marie Kondo says? What's not bringing me joy that's in this closet?
Yeah.
Again, you don't want to move. You don't want to pack stuff that you're not using. It's expensive and it's time consuming and it's frustrating because then you got to unpack it. Just get rid of it while you're doing all this purging.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say the other interesting place to do some cleaning is underneath your sink. And even in your garage. I know that's a real pain, but you know, you want to get the unsightly paint cans out. You know, you want to organize the garage so that it's not smelly. I mean, you know, what can you do so that just like when you're looking at a house, what do you want to see? You want to think about that when you're going through your house. What do you want to show that's a benefit of your house? If you have a little office desk in your kitchen, organize it like an office desk so they can say, oh my gosh, there's a desk in the kitchen I can pay my bills at, you know? I mean, you have to put these suggestions in their minds, or they're seeing, you know, I don't know, 5 houses, you know, in one day, and you want to make yours memorable.
So like everybody tries to pack everything in the garage so that they can clean out the house. So
right.
How are they supposed to organize that in the garage?
Yeah, you might have to buy some shelves.
All right.
You know, you can get some really, I think,
put it in storage.
Put it in storage. Go get a little storage unit if you can. Put it at your mom's house, or you know, put it in your car if you have to. But you know, if you're really not going to part with it, you've got to find a spot for it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's amazing how much you can get up off the floor if you just go buy some cheap plastic shelves.
Yeah.
You know, at Walmart. I think they're $35 at Walmart. But getting this stuff off the floor and just up on a shelf will make it look organized without too much stress. Put it in a tub. Tubs are so much easier than boxes. You can see what's in there. You can organize for when you're moving. You know, so I think you definitely want to get it off the floor. And if there's oil stains on your, you know, garage floor, you need to get those up. I mean, you just kind of have to spend a weekend doing all those to-do list things that you haven't wanted to do.
That's where I come in. Well, they need to pressure wash.
Yeah. And you can hire Dwell Services and they'll do it for you. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So that's scary things. So what about main selling points, like your kitchen? What are we doing there?
So in the kitchen, I think it's important to really look at, I mean, I don't want to say you have to paint your cabinets, but you want to make sure that you're presenting your kitchen as an updated kitchen as much as possible.
Yeah.
So, you know, one thing is, do you need to change out hardware, which can be pricey or not? I mean, it's not that, it just depends on how many cabinets you have, but that's one cute way of fixing up your kitchen. You know, I would make sure that, again, it's cleaned out and it's clutter free, and the cleaner you can make your countertops. So put as much away as you can, and just, again, have those little moments. You might have a little coffee bar set up with 2 mugs and, you know, a coffee pot, or you might have set the bar with cute placemats and a little setup so people can see, oh, you can sit at the bar. You know, if you don't set it, they might not know. Make sure you have bar stools so that they can realize that is a bar, because people like to have seating. You know, and figure out what you're going to do for cleaning products at the top of your, you know, everybody always has sink things at the top. You know, what can you do, or how quickly can you put those away if there's a showing? You know, clean out underneath your sink so that it's not, if they look underneath there, it doesn't look like there's leaking pipes or there's, you know, gooky monkey, you know, stuff that's underneath there. You really want to, you know, invest in some cheap little plastic baskets and organize your items so that when you do have a showing, you're not chaotically running around throwing things in a drawer. You know, you've got some baskets to put stuff in. But I would just say, try to create little moments in the kitchen and then keep the countertops really clean.
Absolutely.
So,
and you keep saying when we have a showing. So in today's world right now, we put something on the market, we've got 15 shows in 5 minutes.
Right. Well, there you go. So you better be ready. When you put that house on the market, you're not going to have a weekend to clean it up. It's got to be, you know, ready to go when those pictures come out, because people are going to be knocking on your door.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is that you want to, make sure that the blinds are always open. If you have some curtains, you might want to take them down. You want to show sunny, bright, make sure that the blinds are kind of operable.
Yeah.
So,
And like you said, you had to clean everything, so you needed to clean the blind.
right. Clean the blinds, make sure they operate. Broken blinds are just not a good first look.
Yeah.
And make sure your kitchen's smelling good. So while you're having showings, try not to cook anything that's going to linger, like bacon or fish, because it makes a huge difference when people walk in. You either want no smell at all, or you want a good smell. You don't want to smell like old food. So you might have to replace the filter above your stove, because sometimes that can trap kind of food odors in, and with the heat on or whatever, it kind of smells a little musty. So you really want that kitchen smelling and looking clean, because that's a big thing for people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And then what do you think about like cleaning the inside of the fridge, the inside of the stove? Does all that need to be cleaned out and detailed real good too, or is that not really a big deal?
No, I think the fridge and the stove are huge. So when someone opens that fridge, they don't want to see, old food or rattling bottles or no space inside the fridge, because they're buying 9 times out of 10 the fridge with that house. So, it's nice if your appliances match in color. That's kind of a big thing. If you're going to replace something, try to get them all matching, even if they're not stainless steel, but people like to see matching appliances. Yeah. Do you have a backsplash? I mean, that's like a quick little thing you can do one time. If you don't have a backsplash, there's 100 things you can do for a backsplash. That's easy, but you don't want to see food stains on the wall. So it just, depends on what you're doing. But I would say the other updating thing you can do, even the kitchen, is make sure the lighting is good. So, do you need to replace 1 or 2 lights fixtures so that they match? I mean, they're not expensive at Home Depot sometimes, but if they're outdated, they can make the whole house look dated. So if you go around and start with the kitchen and say, what, can I change the sconces out, or the over the counter lights, and try to get them so they're updated and they match.
No, I totally agree. Sometimes I'll see those, 1980s chandeliers, and I'm like, all right, guys.
Yeah.
Take this out.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's important to listen to kind of what your stager and your realtor says, because they know what people are looking for, and they know what comments people are saying, like, oh, I hated the lighting in that house. It was a dark kitchen. You don't want them to think that. So you want to be able to turn the lights on for showings. So you got to make sure your light bulbs are all, up to date, and your house is, if you do have like clear glass, make sure they're cleaned out. If you have mirrors, make sure that they're shining and there's not spots on them. You just want it to look like a well-maintained house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the kitchen. What about bathrooms? What do we do there?
I would say that, again, like the kitchen, you want it to be clean. I always go and get decorative towels that I'm not going to use. Okay. So whether they're white towels or, a color, you really want to have towels that are there and you're not using. So they're always fresh and clean, and they're hanging on the right hooks, and then you just keep your other ones separate. Get new bath mats, or put your bath mats away when you're having a showing, because you don't want to have wet, old bath mats out. And then again, you want to, if you have a tub, get a pretty iris and some soaps and a candle, and really make it look like a spa. So people want to see that, and they want to see uncluttered countertops. So all your makeup, all that's out, needs to go in a basket underneath your sink. You can take it out in the mornings, but you need to be able to have it so that you can put it away easily. And the other thing is, in your shower, same with the shampoo and the razors, it all needs to go in a tub that you can grab and put away in your paint. And usually there's a linen closet, so stick it in there. But you just don't want it out in the shower. And if you have those glass shower doors, I mean, that's kind of an issue, because if you want them to be clean and spotless, so you might have to invest in one of the squeegees, or just realize that that's kind of a big selling point, is when you have the nice clean shower doors, as opposed to with all the soap scum. And you may just have to have that be a weekend project and get that all clean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you want, like you mentioned, like white towels and new, mats and stuff like that? Do you want a little splash of color in there, or do you want them just super as plain as you can get? What do you think there?
Um, I'm kind of big on neutrals
Yeah,
with greenery.
yeah,
So, I try to, I mean, you definitely can have some pretty towels, but I tend to like it calm in a bathroom. I'm not a big pop of color in a bathroom. I usually reserve that for pillows in a living room or something. Um, but I think most people like bathrooms that are white and clean. Maybe you bring in some navy, or like I said, bring in a green plant, or even a fake one. But you could bring in a couple books or something that kind of gives some character. But I wouldn't go crazy on um, big pops of color. Definitely, if you have a tub, it's nice to put a cute picture in there. If you want to do a theme and do more of a you know coastal look in your bathroom, that's great. Or if you want to go um, a little more modern. Asian, what did you say?
I love the Asian theme in bathrooms for
You
some
can do
reason.
that.
I
You
don't
can
know
do
why.
that. Yep. I would just say I always think spa, and people really want to think that it's a retreat. So what can you do to keep it calming? Retreat. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
All right, so everything off the counters, everything out of the showers, very neutral, and that's pretty, with a little, maybe some plants, maybe a pop of plant, maybe that gives you your color.
Yeah, pop a plant, or maybe some one of the towels or the washcloths or something can have some color in it, but I wouldn't go too crazy, because if someone doesn't like that color, then they're just going to kind of think they don't like the room.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So those are my two main. Those are my favorite things to sell houses with. But what about, like, I like the whole picture too. So what about the living room? What are we doing there?
So in the living room, I think again, you're going to organize it first, and you're going to look at the layout of the furniture and figure out um, maybe not what's most comfortable for you, but what makes the most sense for the room. So people want to walk in and say, where am I going to watch TV? And where am I going to sit everybody? So you want to make sure that you have enough seating, but that you've not crammed too much furniture in the room. So if there's a dog crate, take it out. If you can, if there's kids' toys, find some cute baskets and put them in there. Um, if you have a focal point, you need to have a focal point. So whether it's the TV area or a big console, with bookshelves, clean off your bookshelves. You don't want tons of books on your bookshelves. You want a few and then a plant. And then you want to kind of balance them out. So get all the little trinkets and all the little, I can't even tell you all the things we've taken off bookshelves, but you really want to stage the bookshelves.
Yeah.
So, you can have some books, and especially on the bottoms. I always say if you want to line up your books, do it on the bottom shelves and leave the top shelves much more clean. And you don't have to have something on every shelf, but you just have to make it look balanced if there's two of them. But the bookshelves are a big deal. And
Yeah.
it makes a huge difference when you put some cute items on a bookshelf. Here, I'll even show you mine, which doesn't have much on it, but um, it's a cute bookshelf in my dining room. So you see that?
Yeah.
So just a few little things, but I don't have it crammed with things. So that's
Space is
one
good.
place.
I'm
Yeah,
learning space is good.
space is good because people, they want to be restful. They just don't. Too much to look at. Okay, my husband always says a confused mind says no. You don't want to confuse their mind. You want them to say, oh, this is so spacious and so clean, and so I can picture myself living here, and oh, my bookshelf would go great there. But otherwise, it's just like they look at it, if it's too much on it, and they just they can't process all of the things they're looking at. And you don't want them to get confused. You want them to look at the house and, oh, there's a big space for my TV there, or whatever. And then I would say, a throw on find a cute throw and put it as a splash of color on your sofa, or hide a stain if you've got a stain on your sofa. Get some cute pillows, and you want them to be fluffy. I can't tell how many people I see with kind of flat pancake pillows. Just go to Home Goods and invest in 4 pillows, and
And
you'll,
$5.
yeah, you'll be surprised what a change it'll make. Pick your favorite color or whatever's going to go with the room. And then, we really use a lot of baskets, cute, big standing baskets with a throw in them, couple coffee table books. one plant on the coffee table,
Yeah.
and, you know, kind of call it a day. I mean, you really don't need much, but you just need to, again, declutter the space and let people see what it looks like. And then that would be the same if you have a living room. And the living room can usually be a little more formal. So
Yeah.
maybe you want to have a little more formal pillows that you're pulling out, or, you know, what can you do to make it be, you know, maybe you need new art. Maybe you don't have any art up. I know once a couple people they'd put their guitars on the wall and it was really neat, but I said, let's put the guitars in the office where it seems more like, you know, your hobby than in your living room where it kind of just, I don't know, it didn't go with their decor. So think about, where can I move things so that they make a little more sense? And if you have a really nice picture, but it's kind of hidden, bring it out and put it over the living room, you know, fireplace or something.
Yeah.
But if your pictures look dated, you're going to want to, you know, if your art looks dated, take it down and again, go find one piece and put it up and make it a focal point. You don't have to have a picture on every wall, but you want those pictures to be updated and current.
And kind of frames the room out. And
Yeah.
yeah. So the space with the pictures helps do that. I think, you know, some of the properties you guys have done for me too, you kind of do that with rugs for the flooring. It kind of like frames out the floor and,
Yep.
and adds a focal piece there too. So,
And even if you have a rug down, putting another rug, like say you have a carpeted family room, but then you find another rug that has a little pattern to it and you put that under your coffee table right in front of your sofa, it just defines the space, and it layering really helps. So layering with pillows, layering with a throw, you know, putting, instead of just putting one thing on a buffet, you put a group of three things, maybe something tall and something short, or something tall and then a plant. So you want your eye to kind of go like this, like a wave, not straight across.
right.
I don't know why, but it just makes it, you know, more interesting. The other mistake people make is they hang their pictures too high, and you really want them to be part of the furniture. So if you have a picture over your sofa, don't hang it towards the ceiling, hang it just a little bit above your living room or your sofa so that it's part of the vignette, because you don't want you don't want too much white space in between there. So look at your photos or any pictures you have, and I would just say minimalize them and then make sure that they're hung in the right level. You kind of want them at eye level.
Okay.
Yeah. And oftentimes adding like a mirror to an entryway or to the dining room can kind of make the space look bigger. Putting a mirror over a fireplace can be a little problematic because you don't want it to just look at the ceiling, because someone's going to look in that mirror and you don't want them to see the ceiling fan. So when you put a mirror up, try to see what it's reflecting.
Right.
Because that's what people are going to see. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. So we did bathroom, we did dining room. Did we talk about dining room really? Not really.
No. Sorry, I'm sending money to some. We didn't talk about the dining room. I would say in the dining room, typically that room is not an eyesore because people are usually leaving it, you know, it's pretty set up the way that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I would just make sure you have, you know, a great centerpiece, and you're either going to have a really clean table with just a centerpiece, something stunning, or you're going to set the table. Like if your table's a little scratched or you feel like the room needs a little bit more pizzazz sort of, then you might set the table with, you know, chargers like these. You know, we do like a charger, and then you put a plate on there, and then you do a nice cloth napkin, and you want to make sure that you have your napkin holder. So you want the whole setup. I don't use crystal because I think it gets dusty.
Yeah.
So I just do the plates and keep it simple. Or you could do a runner with a centerpiece and keep it simple. You know, I would make sure that you have enough seating. So do you have 4 chairs around there? Are they matched? You know, you can get pretty inexpensive chairs. You might love your table, but not like your chairs. Or you can go get a bench and then put the 4 chairs with 2 at the end, and, 2 chairs so that you've got a bench on one side, especially if it's kind of close to the kitchen, people like that. But you want to show that you've got enough seating and that your dining room can hold that. And then again, I would look at your lighting above. Is that chandelier really dated? If it's brass, it probably needs to go.
Yeah.
And you can get a great updated chandelier for under $150, and it can make a huge difference in your dining room.
Definitely.
But dining rooms are easy. To me, those are easy to get ready.
To put together.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about outside? Do you stage anything outside, or what happens
So
up there?
we stage lightly stage outside. Outside furniture tends to be really expensive, as we know, and it can get kind of, depending on the rain and what your cushions look like. Depending on what you have, you may need to just remove the cushions and put a few pillows on it. If your cushions are kind of in bad shape, I would say keep the furniture, but take the cushions off, put a few pillows on there, get a cute outside plant on the table in front of you, and you're done. If you don't have any outside furniture or it's really in bad shape, you may want to go on Craigslist and try to find something that you can just put out there. You want a little vignette, definitely. If you have a pool, you're going to want a lounge chair. What can you put a cute floaty in the pool? I mean, you want people to see the lifestyle out there.
Yeah.
So if there's a pool or there's a water view, then we really focus on the outside, and we really do try to bring in appropriate outdoor furniture. We can't sometimes do as much as a homeowner would have, but if there's room for a table, try to find something you can use at a table. I mean, no one really cares that much if it's a perfect table when it's outside, but you can still decorate it with cute outdoor place settings. You can put a boogie board out there, a couple beach towels hanging. I mean, you really want to sell that Florida lifestyle, because if you're coming from the north and you walk out there and see all these wonderful toys, your kids are going to be like, let's buy this house. So, you really want to think about the lifestyle view outside.
What do you call those moments? Is that what you
moments? A special moment, yes. What moment? What reason? And we did somebody. You might want to buy a fire pit and put 4 plastic Adirondack chairs if you've got an extra yard. We did something for someone. They wanted cornhole out in this other yard. They're like, we always play cornhole out here. We want to show people you can do that here.
Yeah.
So, if you can think about what uses do you have for your yard? If you don't have a pool, what else do you want people to see that you can do out there? If you have a shed, you might have to clean that up a little bit. If you have a dog, you definitely want to pick up things that they might step on when they're out there. So, you definitely have to clean that up. If you have dead plants out there, in pots, clean them up, throw them away, or repot. And if it's undercover, then you want it to look more like a room. So you want to put some furniture out there, because that's often, for a lot of people, that's like, found space back there. Oh, there's a sunroom, or, and we'll often do in corners you're not sure of, put down a yoga mat and a cute weight set, so someone knows, okay, this is a really big room. I can't furnish the whole thing, but, I can do yoga in this corner, or, I'm trying to think what else you could put over there, but maybe just a chair with a little book on it, and a table and a lamp, so they can sit over there and have their coffee in the morning. Whatever you can think of, whatever you use the space for, or what you wish you could use the space for, try to set it like that so people can picture themselves doing that there.
Just a little moment set.
A little moment set so that they can, they will remember that and appreciate that. So
they really will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other thing you can do is, if you have a room and it's super big or really long and you don't have enough furniture, think about, can this be an office? Can this be a homework area for the kids that I can set up? Because now, with everybody working from home, they want an office space, or they want a space for the kids. And that's super inexpensive to set up. I mean, you can grab a table that you weren't using from the garage and put a couple bar stools underneath it and put some cute little, you can go to Target in that dollar section and find some cute things, or you can really outfit it. You can go to IKEA and set something up, or find an antique desk that you weren't using and really make it a wow moment. But you want multiple almost office spaces, or spaces for people who are working from home.
Yeah.
It's great if you have an office for the adult, but where are the kids going to go? So, you just kind of have to think about where can we set them up, or where can we set up, where's all the backpacks going to hang, and make sure that if you have a mud room or a laundry room that has an extra empty wall, hang some hooks up. Put a bench underneath it so they can think about taking their shoes off there. Use your spaces wisely so that people can think of themselves like, oh my gosh, that mudroom had room for me to hang everybody's backpacks, as opposed to they just walk through a laundry room and don't think of it in any other way.
That sounds like you really go into depth and take a lot of attention to detail and everything.
We do. Yeah. I mean, we try, because to me it kind of what separates you from just bringing in furniture. I mean, you can go rent some furniture and put it in, but I think, I know as a stager, and if you want to do it yourself, you can, but you do want to think about these things, because that's what makes the difference when people walk into a home. And we always try, and I think you should too, that we want them to walk out and say, oh, I just want to buy everything. I want that look. And just, it's the same reason why a builder will spend a fortune to outfit a model home, because they know that home, the look of that home is what the people want. And so they want their house to look like that. And, we try to just help them not have to envision it. People a lot of times you think they're going to envision it. Oh, they can tell that's a dining room, but they can't, and they're in a hurry and they're busy and they've got a lot on their minds. So you want to put that picture in their head. And when you're doing your pictures for whatever website they're going on, I guarantee you're going to get showings from great pictures.
Absolutely. That's
and
always
people,
what
I guess,
I'm after, and that's why I hire you guys, because I want the picture. All I care about is the picture. I can't put it together, so I want you guys to do it.
That's right. It's the picture. And we always kind of look at things too, and we think, where's that money shot? What are they going to be looking at when they walk into the room? So don't put your sofa so that the first thing they see is the back of the sofa. Or, when you're, make sure your beds are made and they look great, and you've got fresh pillows on your beds, and we steam all the bedding. You're not going to do that, but you want to make sure that your bed is made, and that if you, that's the one thing we did talk about. You might want to go buy new bedding that you only use during showings, and it gets folded up and put away. But in the mornings, you put that you can buy one white duvet and a couple pillows, and it'll change the look of your bedding. But again, you want that master bedroom to look like a retreat for people.
Right.
So.
All right. Well, one other question about it, and then I'll kind of wrap it up.
Yeah.
So I know what I say to this question, but a lot of my sellers will tell me right now, the market's so hot, I don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
Stick a sign in the front yard, and I don't need to do any of this, you're telling me.
Right.
What do you say to that?
So, I mean, I guess that's true. I would say that if you want to get more, I mean, staging does one thing, a couple things. It will, again, bring you people that are more interested in your home as opposed to just looking. And I think that they will definitely fall in love with it, and then they will want to pay the higher price. So I think you get more money for your home. You're going to get a kind of more dedicated buyer, someone that's not just, I need a house and I'm just going to buy that one. I mean, you want them to be in love with your house, and you want them to have a good experience with it and be excited about the sale. Because if you've got multiple people looking at it, you want them to be in love with it so that they're going to offer more, or they're going to be, if you've got multiple offers, that's great, but who's going to really, come to the table with the deal? And that's going to be the home that they really remember and that they love. And I think that you're going to get more money. It's going to sell faster. You're going to get a better quality offer because they want that house. And I still think that, staging takes care of a lot of kind of worries. I don't think anybody likes to look at a vacant home. So if they're buying a vacant home, they're going to think, hey, I'm going to get a deal on this. This person's, already got another house. They've moved out. And they also see all the problems. So they might lowball the offer, or they might ask for more, inspections or whatever, because they can see the problems.
And it makes my job harder. It makes negotiating harder.
It does.
So
You know,
what I tell people is, when sellers tell me that, I read the market, I think very well, and I'll go at the top end of the market, and I'll usually sell right at what I listed at. I don't usually sell too much above what I listed at, and that's just
uh-huh,
listing it so high.
right.
And when they tell me they don't want to do staging or they don't want to do some of my recommendations, I go, all right, then we're going to drop 20 grand off that price.
There you go.
Because
That's a
I
huge,
can't sell it at that point unless we do these things.
right.
So
Right.
that's about what I say.
That's about what you say. I just think, again, you don't want to walk into anything that isn't pleasing to, to what you're seeing. And I think people that, we've had so many compliments with people saying, I walked in and I just wanted to, move right in.
Yeah.
And that's really what you want them to think. And if they feel that way, then they're going to make more of an effort to actually buy the house. And, if they have to pay a little more to get it, then they feel like they're getting a more quality product. And I think as a realtor too, you want to be selling products where people walk in and they're excited to see your houses. And if you have an open house, people are walking around and complimenting the house as opposed to finding the faults with it and then trying to lower the price.
Well, I won't sell them if they're not staged. So
there you go. See?
So they're hiring another realtor.
I like that. And I think it's probably a great thing because that everything's going to go much more smoothly when they're happy at the outset, and there's a lot of things that we do that people don't catch. I mean, we might walk in and we might be fixing something that they don't even know needed to be fixed, or taking down curtains that they hadn't done. I mean, especially if you're not in town or you don't have time, let us take care of all the headaches, and get it ready. Because your time is valuable too. So if you're doing all this and you're really not bringing in the furniture that we're able to bring in, or, you might say, well, I can do pillows, but I don't have a rug. But don't even worry about it. Just let a stager, let us bring it in, install it, be done with it. You pay at the close. It's pretty painless. So.
No, it really is. I mean, you guys are worth every penny. That's what I tell all my sellers. You're gonna get. It's really not spending money
right.
at all.
No.
So
you're gonna get it back in the sale anyway.
You're gonna get it back at least 3 to 4 times, at least.
Right.
So it's a no-brainer, especially with you guys letting them pay at close.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're fast and we do it in a day and we don't, you know when we're coming, when we've left, and we keep you kind of informed all the way around. So, and I think it allows you to get your pictures taken faster, get it on the market faster, because you're not waiting for yourself to do it, or you're not doing it at all. So if we're coming Monday, your pictures are done Tuesday and it's up online by the weekend, whereas it could have taken you 2 weeks to get all that done. And then you've missed your, window of opportunity, or you've lost a sale, or, you paid another mortgage payment or whatever.
Almost exactly.
Yeah.
Schedule Monday, pictures Tuesday, get them back Wednesday.
Get them back Wednesday. And my big thing is, I think that staging is a lot cheaper than taking a price reduction.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, we'll catch people and they'll be like, I don't want to stage. And then I've just seen, okay, but you just reduced the price of your house.
Yeah.
So you have an issue and yet you're still not staging.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's why I tell them, that's why I show them that up front.
Yeah.
I say, all right, well, I'm going to price it at the top of the market. If you don't want to stage it, let's drop the price by 20 grand.
Yeah. And we're not charging you 20 grand either. So,
no.
So that's kind of a, no-brainer. So, yeah.
Well, Sally, thanks for going room by room with me and telling me everything that you do and what you recommend doing. And I know there's so much more that you guys do without thinking. So, but I appreciate you letting me know anything. Anything else you want to close on?
No, I think just the one thing to remember is if you do choose to stage, try to remember that it's staging. It's not interior decorating. So, there's a difference. And, you're not really going to get to pick out the furniture that we bring. You just have to really trust us that we're bringing, light, neutral, current furniture, and kind of let us do our thing. And then you're going to get great pictures and great results. So it's kind of a great symbiotic relationship, but you need to trust the stager and, you know, and the realtor.
Let them do their job.
Yeah, let them do our job. And you know, if we don't get it right the first time, we're happy to come back and do a couple changes within reason. But you know, I just think that it's important to understand what staging is and what it isn't. And
Yep.
we're not going to fill every single nook and cranny or every bedroom, but you know, we're going to do all what we call the heart of the home and
Yep.
really make it so that everybody can get an idea of how wonderful the house is. And I do think that when people have a stager come too, they're encouraged to fix up other parts of their home that they might not think about.
Yeah.
Because that part looks so great, they want to make the rest look great. So it all works.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Again, guys, this is Sally, Dwell Stage and Design. Thanks so much for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
All right.